The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kolar Arms, America's competition shotgun, and is fueled by Fiocchi.
Welcome to the Dead Pair Podcast, coming in hot with everything you want to hear about sporting clays. With your hosts, Jason Rambo.
This is what I have to work with, everyone.
And Sean Alley.
Like I said, I was just thirsty.
Oh,
Often imitated, but never duplicated. It's the Dead Pair Podcast. It's showtime.
Welcome back, everyone, and welcome back, Mr. Tracy Wright. What's up, Trace?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I think I'm doing a little better than you are. You were telling me about some ailments you got going on. What in the world did you do?
I'm a broken old man, buddy. I turned 50 and it just fell apart like crazy.
Hey, I got you by 3 years. I don't want to hear it.
See?
Yeah, I'm an old fart, dude.
Yeah, so I went in for an MRI and they have me down for a torn labrum, a torn bicep tendon, and something wrong with my bursa. So
good grief.
I've got a surgical consult April to have that looked at. It's crazy. I can still press a lot of weight, but I can't do a side lateral with 2.5 pounds.
Oh my gosh. So which arm is this? Left arm?
This is my left arm. So basically I'm good on a first target, anything I can set up for.
Yeah.
And then I just can't transition the gun to the next bird. So
oh man, that's a problem. The hell with lifting the coffee and the phone. You got to be able to shoot, man.
Yeah, that's for sure. So I'm in limbo. I've made a little progress the last 2 weeks in physical therapy, but so far I'm 16 weeks in and I'm hoping it's going to get better.
Jeez. Well, I mean, anybody that's seen you can vouch for you here on this, Tracy. I mean, your pickup truck is to drive, not bench press. Yes, take it easy a little bit, okay? So,
if I could press it, I would.
See you at Christmas. So, hey, we do have one real quick tourney talk to get to. Let's get to that real quick.
It's Tourney Talk. Brought to you by Score Chaser.
All right. North Carolina State at Hunters Point, September 10th through the 13th is now open. Tennessee State at Crossville, September 17th through the 20th is now open. Minnesota State at Wild Marsh, August 27th through 30th is open. And the 2027 Caribbean Classic at Vero Beach, February 1st through the 8th is now all open. Speaking of open, Tracy, it sounds like you're going to miss the Dead Pair Blast. Sounds like you're going to miss the California round, but hopefully we can get you healed up and get you out to South Carolina for the December round, man. That's going to be big.
That would be incredible. I would. I'm going to put all my eggs in possibly like the Florida swing. Just depends. I might end up doing a whole bunch of teaching this year and hardly any shooting, but I want to save some time for the end of the year.
Yeah.
Hopefully Florida.
Well, I took the family with me and we made a long road trip up to South Carolina to Rocky Creek to see Jake Spangler. And, we stopped in Savannah along the way and just kind of did some sightseeing and stuff. Really good time. But yeah. I am blown away with Rocky Creek, not only in what they currently have, but Jake drove me around and showed me all the land that they'd opened up. They've built all the new roads. They're all put in. And I'm telling you that is going to be probably one of the most premier gun clubs in the United States. It's phenomenal. They're building a giant new clubhouse and just on and on and on. And what they already have is awesome, but they're just making it that much bigger.
I mean, the club's been on my list of like a must go to for a couple of years now. So, I mean, they've been putting it together, a really good package.
Yeah.
Because I keep hearing about it. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, look, Jake knows how to run a great tournament. He really does. I mean, he's, and this has been talked about a bazillion times on here, but the SCTP Nationals, it's 3,500 entries across 4 disciplines, right? Because you got trap, skeet, sporting, and bunker. And wow. 3,500 entries across 10 days, over 1 million targets thrown. I mean, you can say what you want about, worlds and nationals and this and Jack Links and everything else. That's still bigger, right? So
absolutely, but significantly.
Yeah, but he did that for, over 11 years straight. And so he knows how to run a tournament, and he does a really good job.
That's awesome.
But yeah, while I was there, he was having just a little Gator Cup warm-up shoot, a little 200 bird shoot, and we had a hoot. I mean, what a great time. Great targets. Food was off the hook. Jake's always been big about that. And you didn't want or need for anything, the whole time. I mean, it was the way you expect a tournament to be. And
Yeah.
I am really looking forward to having the Dead Pair Blast there December 11th and 12th, because I'm telling you, he's going to do it, and he's going to do it right. And the sponsors, we've got a lot of sponsors that are actually going to show up and be there at that one. So that's going to be fun too.
That's perfect. Well, it's definitely at the top of my list out of the places I want to be in December. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're getting ready for this one here at LA Clays. Like I said, every time everybody hears this will be after. Been working with Chad all week to try and get things ready. Of course, June Vergara is doing a phenomenal job out there at LA Clays, helping out and getting stuff ready. So be a good time.
Hopefully I'm in next year. And I'm done nursing the shoulder business.
Well, I guess we should have talked about this off air, but you're already committed, dude. You're in. So
I signed up for everything.
Yeah, I told Casey Chase, I'm like, just bill him as soon as it comes live. Just send him a bill.
Yeah.
But starting to move the gun a little bit, man. I'm telling you what, it feels a little funny when you've put it down for a while.
No, without a doubt. I try and pick it up and I try and move it around, and yeah, I just can't imagine going a couple of months without touching it. If I go into surgery, we're talking 6 weeks in a sling. So
yeah. Well, part of the reason why I said it feels a little funny, I had my gun fit by Ben Husthwaite, and of course, everybody's seen that video on a proper fitting. And it just so happens that I was able to catch up with Ben and Carl Holland, and they've got some exciting news. So I did a little interview with them. Let's check this out, Tracy, see what you think.
The Dead Pair.
All right, we're gonna try and keep this inside the lines here. I'm sitting here with Carl Holland. What's up, Carl?
What's going on, Jason? How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. And of course, the ever colorful Mr. Ben Husthwaite. What's up, Ben?
Hey, man, what's going on? Good to be here.
Dude, thanks for doing this. So I want to start with Carl. You and Dominic, after you guys left the Meadows, you have started your own business. And I kind of want to introduce that to everybody. What is the name of your business? And tell everybody what it is the two things you specialize in.
Yeah, so myself and Dominic Bethel founded Gray Rose Company, located just north of Atlanta. We're in Alpharetta. We have a brick and mortar shotgun showroom. We're a premium Beretta dealer. That's us. That's our specialty.
Right.
We've added to, a line of accessories, Pro Ferrum. Dominic is the Game Boy US distributor. We've added Manuel Ricardo Stocks. I've spent a bunch of time over the last few years, learning gun fitting from Ben. And he made the introduction to Manuel Ricardo and their sales representative, Ibrahim Bram Shooting. Which,
right.
Everybody's familiar with him. We're working with Ibrahim to help provide, a steady source and knowledge here in the U.S. With Manuel Ricardo Stocks.
That's what leads us to Ben being in here. Ben, first of all, everybody that hasn't seen the proper fitting video over on our YouTube channel where Ben fit Carl, who's now with us. Ben, this seems like this was kind of like a natural progression, like having someone in the States under your tutelage and working with you and Ricardo and Bram to try and bring those manual stocks over here to the United States. Was that kind of like am I saying that right? Is that the mission?
Yeah, I think it's something I think Manuel wanted as much as I wanted, It's a market that he probably hasn't tapped into, In Europe, he's the number one. There's nobody touches the quality of stocks that he produces. And having somebody in the US that I trust to fit, that can link with Ibrahim, because let's just clear one thing up. I'm no part of this business strategy. All I've done is work with Carl as a close friend to teach him how to fit. And I've made the link. Carl deals direct with Ibrahim, who's an associate of Manuel Ricardo. So having that over here, I'm sponsored as an ambassador by Manuel Ricardo. So if I can spread the good word of him around the globe, that's my ambassadorship side of things done. But I would never, ever link somebody that I didn't trust to fit the gun.
Well, and it's interesting you say that because I went back and watched that video that we did, and at the end of it, you and I were standing inside the building there at Quail Creek, and I said, I kept asking you, like, who do you have in the U.S.? And you're like, right now, no one.
Yep.
So it was a progression to get Carl to the point where you could say, yes, he fits for me. He's my U.S. counterpart.
Yeah, and I think what's important is the investment that Grey Rose has put into it. Like, learning to fit, if you're willing to realize that you're doing things wrong, which is the first thing we have to admit to learn anything, that's the easiest part. The investment that they've put into the infrastructure to measure the stocks, to get the inventory, to get the tri-stock, to get the measuring device, to buy the calipers, their investment into the US market to do it correctly, you need that part of it. And just because I can teach you to do it, that's irrelevant if you can't measure it.
Right.
So they've made a huge financial investment to the US shooter to do this correctly, and I commend them on that. That was the final straw. I could teach Carl to teach. I can teach you. Well, probably not you, but
thanks for having the faith in me, man.
but once somebody can fit, that doesn't get them a stock, because now you've got to take 4 detailed pages of notes, take pictures, take the dimensions, make sure they're readable in a transfer document that Ibrahim can translate into Portuguese to send to Manuel Ricardo. So the fitting, Carl had that knowledge when we had that, and for me, I take my hat off to him and Dominic at Grey Rose for putting the financial backing behind it to buy all of the equipment to now be able to provide a service to the US shooter that nobody else can do.
That's awesome. Well, okay, Carl, so let's start with step one. Someone's hearing this. They've been on the fence. They want to get a stock. They haven't been able to schedule with Ben. Now they have someone here that they can go to that's going to fit like what Ben has instructed you to do, right?
Yep.
So how does this work? Do they have to go to you in Georgia, or can they... You're going to be going to shoots. Like, what does that look like for an individual as far as contacting you? Step one.
It's a little bit of all the above.
Okay.
We now have a fully mobile travel trailer. So we have a workshop on the road. We are at, let's call it 90% of the NSCA events. All of the regionals, except for the Western, we did miss this year. We're at Jack Links. We're at the Gator Cup. We're
US
at
Open,
US
Nationals.
Open, Nationals.
Yeah.
We're everywhere.
You got the building now at Nationals.
We have the Game War building in Nationals. You can always pop in and see us there. And step number one is really to head to the website, grayroseco.com.
Okay.
On the website, you will find a gun fitting page, and on that is a booking feature. If you're interested, you can book yourself. Schedule yourself in for a fit at any of those events. The schedule is up now, I guess, in limited availability. That availability will expand. My cell phone number, which I should say is on the website, even though I'm hazardous of this, please don't call me at midnight.
Well, I'll make sure to put the link to the website down in the show description.
Yeah.
So anybody that's driving,
that's really
right now,
the place to start. The place to start is contact us.
Okay.
Let us know where you are. In North America, let us know where we can find you, and we'll get you scheduled in for a fit. We like to do it at a gun club. That way we can verify fit.
Test and video record, go through the video analysis like we do in slow motion. Carl's very good at sending the videos and things like that.
Yep, all the above. And that's really step one to kind of to ordering a stock.
Okay. So then once you have all the dimensions, you have everything you need from the customer, that goes to
Ibrahim.
Yep. Okay. And then from there, they cut the stock, they do everything according to what the customer wants. Or, well, let's back up even farther. Customer gets to pick their choice of wood, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I guess so. Let's say we've done a fit, we've confirmed it, we've got all your measurements, we've taken all your body biometrics in order to make sure that stock is bespoke to you. Next step is we give you all of the options, right? Would you like a forend? What shape of forend would you like?
That's an important thing. So if you like the Pratzi forend, but you own a Kolar, you can have the Pratzi forend on the Kolar.
Okay.
The shape's bespoke. You can have it a centimeter long. You can have it. So I've got the Krieghoff Sporting with the Parkour forend, 3 millimeters thicker all the way around. So it's a bespoke forend. You can pick the shape, the length, the width. So people come to me, I really love this Browning forend, but I shoot a Krieghoff. I have the Browning forend then. You can literally have it. It is a full bespoke fitting.
Okay. Cool.
And from there, we're going to pick grip dimensions. We're going to pick a check ring, whether you'd like, a straight check ring or skip line, as we call it here in the U.S., or a diamond check ring. Mm-hmm. We offer custom engravings if you'd like initials on the pistol grip. Options are sort of endless. There are, from that point, after we picked all of your options, adjustable comb, weight balancing system, an air tag feature. There's a pocket in the back behind the recoil pad. You can put an air tag in.
Oh, awesome.
So it's a very neat feature.
It's in your gun. It's hidden. And for all of us traveling, it's a feature
it's
that's
fully
invaluable.
bespoke to the air tag hole with a foam layering.
Yeah.
You don't even know it's there.
Really?
Yeah.
That is really
behind
cool.
the recoil pad.
That's awesome. So of course, here in the States, we're used to grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wood or whatever. Another question for you. Is there a basic package? Look, you're going to get fitted. This is what the grade of wood will come with that package. Like, what does it look like, bare minimum, for someone to step into a custom fit stock?
So there are 11 grades of wood plus the specialty room, which we'll just leave for now. If you're looking for something that is extra special, it's something we can look at for
something
you.
Exotic.
Something even beyond exotic. There are grades 1 through 5, which are your standard grades. And then there are exhibition grades 1 through 5 again, and premium. When we get to the point where we have all your options logged, we're going to send you a link, or in person, we're going to do it on an iPad. And we're going to show you, 8 to 10 options of whatever category of wood you might like.
Okay.
And we're going to walk you through picking a few choices. Then we'll send to Manuel Ricardo for finalization.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basic pricing. If somebody
Basic pricing, sorry.
entry level pricing.
Yeah, entry level pricing. So if you were to do a standard stock with a forend, let's say, you're in and around that $2,000 price point.
Wow, very affordable.
Very much. That's the key.
Yeah.
The price point beats anything in the US. It's just you're into a one stock, no pattern stock. We're into a fully bespoke wood set
for $2,000. Wow,
roughly.
That's
speaking.
incredible.
Yep.
See, that's
everything's give or take.
Yeah. Plus your options, right? You want an adjustable comb. You want a recoil pad. You want a recoil pad that is the flag of whatever country you love the most. It's all available.
See, and that's been the drawback even for me, because for years I've wanted a custom stock. Nothing's really ever truly fit me like you always feel like I got to wiggle up to it. Ben, you and I have talked about that. Yeah. And that's been the drawback, is the cost. But what you just told me, even the guy that's the weekend warrior can afford this, and their gun's going to fit them, and they're going to get a pretty piece of wood with
and
it.
what people forget is, when I travel the world doing this, you've also got an item to now sell. So you buy a custom stock for $2,000, you're probably going to get $900 for the one you've taken off.
Right.
So it's only cost you $1,100, because that stock that you already own that came with the gun, that's no use to you in a cabinet. That can be sold.
Yeah.
Right.
So now you've just halved the pricing in.
Wow.
If you look at the pricing structure, which is available on the website, or we can send you directly, from a standard to a grade 2 is $300 upgrade. And basically, as you take each step up the ladder, you're just adding $300 each time. So for you to end up with something quite exotic, a premium level stock, with a forend, you're $5,500 finished with all the options you could imagine.
And you're in the best of the best.
Yeah,
that's still incredible, because I've seen prices online just for a hunk of wood. No fitting, no cutting, no anything. Just to buy the hunk of wood is almost $10,000.
And Manuel Ricardo is 100% Turkish walnut. It's the finest wood available. Absolute, beautiful premium.
And he stands behind his product. That's the key.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you, Ben, is look, things happen, right? We've seen cracks around the inletting and all that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, if you drop it out of a golf cart, you can't insure or warranty stupidity, but you can insure stupidity, but you can't warranty stupidity or accidents. So what is there? Is there any kind of...
I've made 357 stocks so far.
Okay.
With Manuel Ricardo. I've had one go wrong where nothing went wrong. We had two guys with the same name, and they just made half and half. Like just a
oops. Right.
That's a oops. Within 7 days, they got the new one.
Wow.
We've had 4 out of 357 crack.
Okay.
Wood's wood. Until that thing goes bang, It's not under any stress.
Right.
They all had a stock within 10 days.
Really?
No ifs, or buts.
Wow.
We will just make you another one.
So now you're not allowed to say anything here, Ben, because I've already asked him this question. I'm going to ask you, Carl, as you got into learning the fitting process the proper way and everything, what was one of the major misconceptions that stood out to you that people have with their fits? Now, I've asked him this question. He wouldn't give me a direct answer on the video, so I'm just going to
you asked me to be PG.
I'll give you an easy one. The amount of drop that are in factory stocks.
Yeah.
That's the easy one.
Not just the factory stocks, also the US custom stocks. I can say it. You can't.
Fair enough. The amount of drop in factory stocks is just too much. You know what I mean? It's this is basic geometry, right? Where we put our face on the comb matters. It's what gives us our sight picture.
Right.
If we mismount by a millimeter even, and we have 1.5 inches of drop, I know I'm using 2 sets of units, my apologies, over the length of the comb, that means our sight picture is drastically different.
Right.
We cannot manage impacts on targets if our sight picture is that different. And that's where step number one of
what I just said then about this,
that.
I think there's some very good stock makers in the UK, in the US.
Mm-hmm.
The product. And fit is subjective. And I said this to all of the people I talk to about they have gun fitters. I fit my way, you fit your way. I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong. You're going to have to prove to me that you're right. I can explain to you why I fit like I do. Can you explain to me why you fit like you do? Because I will find a hole in it and tell you why it won't work. If you've got the answer to back it up, I'll just shake your hand and say, well, no, but there's reasons why the way I do it works and why this doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's what people now have a choice to make. Do I want this or do I want the same stock settings that the top 10 in the world are shooting? Why are we all shooting the same numbers? Well, there's got to be something in that. Why don't the top 10 in the world shoot factory stocks?
Mm-hmm.
Self-explanatory. I've had a lot of people reach out to me after we released that video, and they, why isn't he saying this, or why did he say that, and this, that, and the other? And I said, look, I told them all the same thing, and you correct me right now if I'm wrong. There's a difference between a stock fitter and a stock maker.
100%. I've never met one person that can do both. I can fit you a gun. I wouldn't make you one.
Right.
But I might.
I think there truly is some artists with making a stock
and some
in the
beautiful
United
ones in
States.
the US.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful finished articles.
Right. But they're not world champion shooters that know how to fit.
Yeah, and I don't think I fit stocks well because I'm a world champion. I fit stocks because I couldn't get fitted. Nobody could do it for me, being 6'5", fluctuating weight between very muscular and very fat, depending on what time of the year it is. So I was like, if you can't do it, the only way I'm going to get this right is if I do it myself. And I'm going to have to learn.
Right.
And I made a whole heap of mistakes along the way. And I just learned and learned and learned. And then I've trained Ibrahim to do it. Ibrahim fits for me around the world. And then Carl was interested. And one thing I will say about the Grey Rose Company, I'm not aligned to them whatsoever, but Carl's a great friend of mine and they have access to me. So I hope Carl doesn't mind me saying this. Carl had to fit a gentleman the other week, unorthodox in size. And he just FaceTimes me and I walk him through the difference.
Nice.
That's an unbelievable asset for Grey Rose to have. Now, a lot of people around the world don't like me. A lot of people around the world do like me. But what they can't discover is that my fitting's world class. Right. So you can go to Grey Rose. I'm not benefiting from this deal whatsoever, but I will still, even if you don't like me, I will still help Carl get you the perfect fit.
Well, I mean, I don't like you, but you fit my gun better than anybody else has.
Yeah, and that's the difference. I don't need to be liked. You know? Like if I wanted to be liked, I'd have given up shooting years ago. But I just think that's an unbelievable asset for Grey Rose to have. That if Carl's a little bit unsure, which he's not unsure, he can do it very well. But what Carl will learn as Carl progresses is, it's not unsureness. It's a little bit of a lack of confidence to pull the trigger on a decision.
Yeah.
That'll just disappear as he goes because I've not corrected him yet. I've just gave him the backup that, okay, that's good enough. Let it rip. Pull the pin. And that's just I needed that reassurance as I was going through it, you know?
Yeah.
You can't always write it in pencil and erase it. You know what I mean?
Oh no! And that's where, as the apprentice gun fitter, over the last few years, Ben's guidance has really been instrumental in getting us to where we are. It really has. Can't thank him enough for that.
Carl, it's funny because we tease each other a lot. You're a Beretta guy. I'm a Kolar guy. You're a Game Boy guy. I'm a Fiocchi guy. But we've managed, and same with Ben. But we've managed to maintain a friendship. And I think it's awesome what you guys are doing, you and Dominic. And I wish you success in it. You said that you're becoming a pro shop too. Is there anything other than the Berettas and the ammo and the fitting? What else? What other products are you guys going to carry?
Proferrum CLP. Proferrum is a gun cleaner lubricant protectant out of the UK, and we have it here in the US now, warehoused with us.
Okay.
It's going into gun clubs across the country. This is something that is very cool. It's hydrophobic. It actually encapsulates moisture.
Pulls it out.
Pulls it out. Yeah. It's something that has been used in the UK now for quite a few years. It's dermatologically safe, and the product is genuinely incredible. Over 4 to 5 applications on the gun will actually become hydrophobic. So number one, it's humid. We're here in the South,
Mm-hmm.
or it's rained and you've shot in the rain. It will pull the moisture out of the substrate, out of the wood, out of the metal, not to dehydrate the gun. Obviously, like we're talking surface level water here, right? But it does a very good job at encapsulating it. It actually turns white when it foams up, and you can see the moisture trapped, wipe it clean, and that's removed all of the moisture.
Nice.
Third, or fourth, or fifth application actually creates a barrier to where the water's no more penetrating the...
I think what we missed, what's very important, just backtrack a little bit, just reminded me then, is Manuel Ricardo's own personal finish to the stocks.
Ah, yes.
We missed that out. That's very important. So Manuel designed his own... He words it wrong, but it's the translation. So he calls it a varnish, which makes people wary of it. And to translate it properly, it's just a finishing product. It looks like an oil finish. It's not bright. It doesn't turn it glossy.
Yeah, it's quite satin.
In its finish, but it leaves the wood 100% waterproof.
Really?
You don't have to add any oil. It doesn't crack like an epoxy varnish.
Right.
So if you chip it, it doesn't go like a cracked windscreen. People tend to shy away from that finish because of how they word on the website, like a lacquer varnish is what they call it. And I think,
Yep. And we get that question all the time.
And it's not. It's a wonderful bespoke finish that he's designed himself. It's not a lacquer or a varnish, in my opinion. If I told you it is an oil finish, you'd believe me.
Really?
It's a very much...
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a fantastic finish, yeah.
Very cool.
And especially very important in the climate change. If you're going from the South Regional to the Western Regional and you want that finish to seal that stock.
Yeah. And that being said, if you want the finest of oil hand-rubbed finishes,
that can be done
it's
too.
available.
Yeah,
it's just going to add some time to the production schedule.
Very nice. Now we just got to get him selling rhino chokes, and then he'll be set.
Yeah, we'll get him there. It's Canadian. Everything's a slow burn, you know? He might have just run out.
So, Ben, real quick, what's next for you? What's the next stop? Are you shooting anywhere or just mainly teaching right now?
No. So the teaching schedule is crazy. Me and Ibrahim just got back from a 10-day teaching schedule in Brazil.
Okay.
We made 23 orders for custom stocks while we were there.
Wow.
So, I flogged Ibrahim like the horse that he is. I say to people when we travel together, he's my Moroccan friend because my French friend's useless. So I do because he's Moroccan French. So I like the Moroccan side. And my intention is to shoot this year. I still believe I've got more world titles in me. I truly believe that. But last year I finished 5th at the World Compact. I was winning the European FITAS going into the last day and had a chance. And I think the lack of tournament experience just bit me a little bit, and I don't mind admitting that, and finishing 4th that was probably an overachievement rather than an underachievement. And it's very easy to sit back on your laurels and say, well, I shot 8 flats for the year last year.
Really? That's it?
Total.
Wow.
And I finished 5th at one world. I couldn't shoot the other world because I was helping Jamie Peckham set the targets there, who you've had on the podcast before. Yeah. So I was Jamie's assistant at that shoot. So I couldn't compete in that one. I won the Hungarian Grand Prix by 5 clear targets of a very strong field and finished 4th at the European. It's very easy to say, you know what? That's enough,
Yeah.
I've got enough world titles to keep me going. I've got enough background to keep the lessons going. But when I turn up to these shoots, like that little flame just explodes, and it's like, I want to win it.
Right.
And it's just too late. So if I want to compete, and if I want another world championship, I'm going to have to go north of the 20,000 mark, in my opinion. You know, I could come fourth. I may scrape a podium finish, but I don't think you could win it off 2,000, if that makes sense. Even though you're competitive, you don't forget how to shoot. You forget how to deal with that pressure pod of the last day when you're coming down the back nine, you know?
Yeah.
So my intentions are to shoot more.
Okay.
So last week I went to France, taught for 3 days, and met up with Matthew Delmas, who came over here for the Jack Links. He's the current world FITAS champion, very good friend of mine. And I taught a masterclass with him for the day, and we arranged a 2-hour training session together in the afternoon. And that probably was just what I needed to say, okay, let's try and fit this in the calendar every month. Not necessarily with him, with Carl, like maybe not with you. I don't want to win the raffle. I want to win the shoot, but
wow, the digs are going around, Carl.
That's all right. I'm only good enough to pick up his hauls.
The fire's back a little bit. Now it's up to me whether I pour fuel on it or put it out. But
yeah,
I think I've got more in me. You know, I really do. I'm not. But there's just so many good shooters out there now. That's the thing, you know.
Yeah,
a lot of good shooters from the US. 3 world-class shooters from France, you know. Matthew Delmas, Charles Bardot, Christophe Auvray, they're just tremendous competitors. And, you know, you look at the likes of Brandon, Anthony, Corey. I'm not going to name them all. I'm not just singling them 3 out.
I was going to say the list goes on.
But it's just you got a tremendous stock of shooters in. And, you know, I have a lot of respect for all of them. You know, they're just fantastic competitors. And I think, I'm not saying a world title means more now, but in a roundabout way, I do think that.
Because the level of competition stepped up.
What if you think for like 14 years or whatever it was just me, George, or Richard? I had to beat 2 people and maybe a flash in the pan. Right. Somebody that just had a good event, where now you got to make 200 shots perfectly, be lucky with the weather, and just let all the stars align. Like you could shoot 192 good shots and win the world. Now you got to make 200 good shots.
Yeah.
The standard's just astronomically high.
I wanted to ask you too, I keep, forgive me, I keep referring it to Dubai, but I know you guys were putting on a big money shoot over there.
Abu Dhabi.
Is that going to happen?
Happened last year, yeah. And it's set for November the 7th this year.
Okay. So, are you going to try and do that?
Yep. I'm already booked in. Already got the hotel booked. And
nice. What is your involvement? Are you setting targets?
No. Literally, I linked the organization with the royal family out there, and then just stepped back. It's a tremendous organization between FITAS and the government of Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
So it will be 200 compact and 200 FITAS.
Oh, nice.
So very, very worthwhile event with a whole pile of money. Last year they gave away 450,000 over 200 compact, and this year it's a and then
they had both fantastic men's prizes as well as
they matched it. It was level in each, and the second day they ran another 100 bird compact and gave away solid silver bars. You know,
really,
as a prize fund. So,
wow, that's incredible.
It's I think the future of the sports in Asia. Out that way, you know, that's where we're gonna. I think we're gonna end up doing a lot out there. You know, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Thailand, Kuwait.
You know, Ben, you've been shooting this game long enough to see the changes that have happened. Money's really starting to come into it gradually.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how much of a good thing that is. You know, when you give away 40,000 and people are bitching, that's, you know, 40,000 we didn't have. We got to let this sport grow naturally, finding money from outside sponsors. And I think when you find somebody like Jack Links, like the government from Abu Dhabi, you got to support those events. Don't moan that there's no money in the sport if you don't support the events that do that do
Right.
put it on. We are never going to be a profitable sport. You're never going to make a good living where you think my kids are okay from pulling the trigger. The money's in getting other people to pull the trigger.
Right.
But if you want to make it any kind of event where you think you're going to have some kind of profit at the end of the year, you got to go to Abu Dhabi. You got to go and support that government because, for them to give away $500,000 to a small amount of shooters that supported them, why would you do it again? We've got to roll behind these events and show support. And a lot of people are very fast to criticize on social media when there's no criticism to be made. If you didn't shoot very well, it doesn't make it a bad shoot. If you went to the toilet and there's no paper, tell them. Don't put it on Facebook. You know what I mean? Just tell them.
Yeah.
I've been to 5-star restaurants and there's no hand towel.
Right.
You tell them.
It happens.
You want perfection. You want an entry fee that you can afford, and you want perfection. The two don't go together. And if you find that little niche where something you don't like, it's a bit dusty, the trash cans are full, write a nice email to the ground, inform them of what you've seen. Don't put it on Facebook. Don't degrade them for something.
I see that a lot.
Terrible.
We each have the firsthand experience in this topic, right? We have each been heavily involved in large events here in the U.S. or internationally, and the behind the scenes, the staff working around the clock to provide the best hospitality, the best service, the best event possible for our guests, for our shooters.
Right.
From time to we're all human. From time to time, things get missed. Things get.
I message some of my clients and I'll be saying, take that
long way.
Take that down. That's a stupid comment, right?
Yeah, it is.
What I would say to them, before you put it on Facebook, do you think it was on purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself that question.
That's the right question.
Did they run out of toilet paper on purpose?
Yeah.
No. Whoever's doing the toilet paper was busy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. That's the question. Was it on purpose? No. Then I don't need to air this comment.
Well, I spent 30 years of my life doing dirt work, right? So up north, when it rains, you're shut down for the day. Everything's muddy. Down here in Florida, when it rains, 10 minutes later, you're out mowing the grass because it's sand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, during the Jacklinks, we were in the middle of a drought. And it did not matter how much water they put down. You're
not going to get nowhere.
You're not going to keep
You can't
on
play
top
catch
of
up.
it, right? The only thing they can do is make an effort. And Jacklinks ran phenomenal. It really did. It was an excellent shoot. The food, the targets, the stat. It was great. The amount of people that got online and complained about the dust. And it was completely out of their control.
But that's the problem. If you're Mr. Lynx and he's sitting there and he's like, you know what? Don't moan. Don't come. We'll shut this down. We'll pull the plug on it. There's no moaning if there's no event.
Right.
The reality is that this past year was the best Jacklinks to date.
It was phenomenal.
I don't know how you could complain about such hospitality, such service. So a staff and event. A location that goes as far as they do to provide all they can.
And they do that every day for us, even when we're out here messing around and playing. I think it's a great, wonderful facility. And my advice to shooters is just inform the ground in private and stay off social media.
Yeah. Well,
wonderful advice from me. That's the tail wagging the dog right there.
It's pretty much comic relief for you, isn't it? Anymore getting on social media?
Hey, look. You can't put your head above the parapet like I do and not take shots, eh?
No. I get
Lucky enough, the people that give me the grief and want to slag me off the most are such terrible shots they miss.
Oh, my goodness. Well, this has been awesome. Thank you both, Ben.
At least we're not naked in a car park, eh?
Yeah.
Ideally.
Oh, boy. I think we better turn the mics off and finish our drinks. But Ben and Carl, thank you both very much. Carl, wish you success. Like I said, I'll put the link to Gray Rose right down in the comments or in the show description.
Fantastic.
That way anybody that's listening to this as they're driving, they get stopped somewhere, they can click on it and find you. So, but thank you very much, Ben. Thank you.
Yeah, look, I say it at the end of every podcast. I think as much as I like to bust you, I think you do a fantastic job. You bring the US shooters to to the European market. You know, we find out a lot about what's going on over here through your podcast, and from the European shooters, thank you for keep doing what you're doing. I know it's not easy, and sometimes it's a thankful task, but it's much appreciated from our side, from my business perspective, and now from Grey Rose. So congratulations on what you do.
Well, thank you.
We can't thank you enough. We understand the sacrifices you make, I mean, that your family makes. You're away from home all the time. You're at all of these events.
Honestly, his family love that part.
Well,
the wife does. I don't know about the daughter.
We understand, and we thank you for it. The efforts you've put in have helped. I mean, grow this sport in a way that it's never seen before, and it doesn't go unseen.
Oh, jeez! Thank God for ending.
And that's our end.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you both.
The Dead Pair.
Well, what do you think, Tracy? Grey Rose, new company, new opportunities in the industry.
I think they're filling some pretty big voids, to be honest. I think this is going to be a really good niche. I think they're simplifying the process. Nothing but positives that I see.
Yeah, and for me, to be able to get into it, like I said in the interview, to get into a bespoke gun for $2,000 is just, that's insane. I mean, that's what kept me from getting a custom stock for all these years, because I thought in my mind, okay, I've got to shell out $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. Who knows? I mean, I know the wood that you choose has got a lot to do with that, but it just kept me from even fathoming it, right? Like that's a pie in the sky dream. Oh, well, someday. Well, to be able to get into one for $2,000, I mean, that's just insane.
Without a doubt. I mean, I get asked constantly as a coach, at what point is the stock important, or what's the next important factor in my progress? Is it more instruction? Is it glasses? Is it hearing? Or when does the stock, custom stock come into play? The fact of the matter is, I don't think you're going to see anybody in the top 20 at nationals or even in the top 50 who's a player without a custom stock.
Well,
This opens the door tremendously to some really good options.
Well, like Ben said, the top 10 shots in the world, they all have custom stocks. And
Really?
I mean, really, if you think about it, let's take the word custom stock out of it. A properly fit gun is step number one.
Yeah.
Because I don't care what glasses or training or shells or vest or any, whatever else you have in your arsenal, if the gun doesn't fit you correctly, you're fighting it from day one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, especially when you get into the higher classes, AA and master. That's when all the nuances from a custom really matter.
Yes.
Grip sweep, whether it be parallel, pitch. I mean, so many of those little details really come to play at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Want to give a quick shout out and a thank you to our sponsors, Kolar Arms. Thank you to Fiocchi USA. Of course, all these people are going to be in full force, guys and gals, at the Dead Pair Blast, and man, they're giving away a ton of stuff. Ranger giving away a new pair of the Hyper Shots. Tracy, you need to check those out, dude.
It's killing me that I'm not going to be there now.
But those new Hyper Shots, they are the stuff. I'm not going to say the bad word online, but
I'm checking it out.
Atlas Traps. They're going to have a trap available for you at the Dead Pair Blast. Rhino Chokes. Again, another big sponsor that stepped up. Gun and Trophy Insurance, giving cash back. Taconic Distilleries, thank you very much, Taconic. We're going to have a cocktail hour on them. Score Chaser sent out tons of swag packs and a pro membership. Long Range, he provided the receiver and the remote for that trap. Thank you very much to Neil. Midway USA, man, it is so cool to partner with them. We're already talking. I've been throwing back and forth emails with them here lately. We're coming up with some good ideas. Might even have something big coming down the road with them. So we're working on it. Support them, man. They support you shooting, and they do just an outstanding job. Odo Pro Technologies. Just talked to Dr. Grace the other day. We're waiting to hear. Might have some new technology coming from Phantoms. Excited about that. Odo Pro. Appreciate her very much. Of course, Bear Pelt. Love my Bear Pelt vest. I got a new one coming, Tracy. Wait till you see this thing.
I'm excited.
It's got El Jefe on the back. El Jefe Energy.
Really?
Yes.
There we go.
It's got the big El Jefe dude on the back. It is really cool. And of course, Slick Products. And remember, Slick Products, Taconic Distilleries, and RE Ranger, you can save 10%. Both Taconic and RE Ranger, use the code DEADPAIR10 at checkout. If you want to save 10% with Slick Products, just click the link down in the show description, and at checkout, you'll automatically save 10%. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Really appreciate you guys and gals for sponsoring us, for supporting us. They're all great friends of mine, and absolutely love their products. I endorse them fully. So everybody check them out. Trace, man, I'm telling you, we got to get you on the men, man. This isn't right, you not shooting, because every time I talk to you, you've been out shooting, and now you haven't even touched the gun. And what's it been? 3 weeks now? 4 weeks?
Yeah, probably 3 weeks. Right in there.
Oh my gosh, I'd be going insane.
Yep. Yeah, I stopped. I know it sounds bad, but I even stopped trying to do gun mounts at night, and it's really foreign. It's a weird deal to not have the gun sitting next to me on the sofa. But the dog has taken that place for the meantime. I'm sure he's stoked about it, but the shotgun isn't. But soon enough, I'm putting a ton of time and effort into coming back full speed.
Yeah, I missed the first half of the Florida Swing. I missed the Blackjack Open, the Caribbean, and the RC Cup.
The RC Cup.
Yeah, I missed all of them because I was on a big hunt, which I'm kind of glad I did. You know, I broke up some of the monotony of shooting, and I had just absolutely wonderful experience. Thank you to Cole Cushman for putting that hunt together. That was amazing. I got to go shoot with some, I guess I can name drop a little bit. I got to go shoot with Coy Cruz and Ricky Marshall and Cole Cushman himself. Joe Tarnago was there. We had a blast. I mean, that was so much fun. Got to go on an exotic hunt, man. I mean, that's like one of those once in a lifetime things, man. It was great memories, but that time away from the shotgun, and getting back on the range, I got to Jack Links. I'm like, oh boy, this ought to be good. And I did okay the first couple of days, and it was like, wow, I can really tell that I haven't been training, you know?
Yeah, people tend to get really fast. At least I do. If I haven't shot in a while, I pick the gun up, I'm totally out of time. So I usually try and get my timing back and slow the gun down a little bit. But yeah, you're spoiled, man. You got to do some fun stuff.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I've never been on never done anything like that. And it was amazing. I mean, it really was. It was a lifetime memory I'll never forget.
Well, you were with dudes who know how to hunt too.
Oh, so yeah.
That was you weren't with a bunch of rookies.
No, not at all. Well, I don't know. Ricky is probably one of the most dangerous men in the world with a shotgun. You put a rifle in his hand and you could stand in front of him and not get shot. So, but no, I love Ricky. I'm just teasing him. If he hears this, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm just joking with you. But he was a ton of fun. But no, back to what you're saying though, timing being off is like, I wish I would have at least went to a skeet field for an afternoon or something before I went to Jack Links to try and get that timing back. Cause you're right. You don't forget how to shoot. It's just getting your timing back in sync, right?
Yeah. And the skeet field there's no better place to get timing back than the skeet field.
Yeah. Chad's got an awesome grid system he does on the skeet field, man. I mean, just awesome. Not just go shoot around a skeet, but the way he set that grid up. If you can run that grid twice in a day, there's no reason why you'd be out of time. You know what I mean? Like it's really good.
Absolutely.
I'll refrain from saying anything more than that. That's part of his deal. Everybody wants to know what it's all about. Reach out to Chad. But so what's next for you, man? Okay, you're going to try and mend up. You're going to go through some therapy and hopefully get back in the gun soon. Do you have a timeline set? What's going on?
Physical therapy. Let's clarify that. So not just, but yeah, I'm going still in physical therapy. Consult with the physician on the 13th, and I've made some progress this last 2 weeks. Man, I'm really hoping the physician is going to give me a little more time and probably not put me under the knife. I'd really hope that, but it's really all about the quickest possible recovery at this point. Gotcha. So if he says let's go under the knife, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat.
So that being said, people don't know as much as I do. You've been working out quite a bit. And I'm going to venture to say that your gun fit's probably a little off too, right?
Are
you tweaking it yourself or trying to?
I just had my gun restocked, so it's pretty good. I'd have to say it's pretty current right now. And a lot of the work I do in the gym is kind of recomping. So, the magical, mythical recomp. But if I put on muscle mass, I try to cut a little bit of fat so I'm not dramatically different shape.
Yeah.
So I'm not a pear shaped or anything like that. But
I yo-yo so much. It's like you guys better have stainless screws or something in that stock because I'm going to turn them every which way there is.
We're going to keep you in the tri-stock, Jason.
Yeah. Right?
Infinitely in the tri-stock.
Infinitely adjustable, yes. But yeah, it's like I do really good, and then I travel for a week or two, and then I got, and I got to start this all over again. And, traveling, and that's something that's something that needs to be said too, because you and I are kind of like, and when I say diet, I don't mean traditional diet, lose weight crap. I mean like controlling what you eat, right? Like making sure you're eating the right foods. That is so hard to do on the road. It is.
Yeah, I'm 3,600 calories. I do 300 grams of protein a day, minimum 300 grams of carbohydrates, and about 65 to 70 grams of fat. And when I'm on the road, I still only take Saturdays off. I'm at the gym every night, even at a tournament.
Man, good on you. Because when I fly into a hotel, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to the grocery store, and there's a Chick-fil-A next door, and it's just so hard to stay strict.
It is. It really is. But, like I'll drive to a shoot. I've got 3 or 4 duffel bags, blenders, protein shakes, the whole ball of wax.
Well, driving to a shoot is that you can control a little bit more. I'm talking about when you got to get on a plane, it's a lot more difficult.
Yep. I come in a day early and I go to the grocery store my first day and I try and get set up. And I'll buy a blender and leave it at the Airbnb when I'm on the road.
Wow.
Whatever it takes.
You're much more disciplined than me.
Got to get big enough to hold up my shotgun. It's heavy.
Now we need to get you in our Kolar and we'll fix all that. You knew I was going to throw that out there, Trace. Come on now.
I know. But I don't know. Me and my Kagan have been together a long time. But it'd be hard to break up the band after all this.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. I don't know though, man. I'll let you shoot my gun one time. You might think twice. I'm just teasing you. Well, listen, everyone. We say it each and every week. Take someone new shooting. Take them to a tournament. And, if you're like Trace and you're laid up, at least go introduce your friends to the game and watch them shoot and have some fun. But if you are someone that enjoys taking new people shooting quite often, get over to our website. Check out the NSSF banner on the +1 program. They've got ways they're going to incentivize you and help you out. Got some really cool goodie bags and stuff you're going to get along with that too. So give them a shout. You have a doctor friend that we're going to be talking to hopefully sooner than later. Can you tease everybody a little bit about that? We won't say when yet, but can you tell everybody what that's about?
Well, I think there's a lot of untouched things from more of a scientific approach in terms of performance. What does our body actually need psychologically to perform at our best? We've got a very unique game. It's not just physically focused. There's a lot of psychology involved, and we really have to stay mentally sharp. And so I think touching base on that, use of some of the GLPs, the GLP-1s now, they've become very common. Supplements, there's some talk in regards to creatine and increasing cognition and focus. We've got some peptides to try and kind of discern, C-Link and C-Max. These are interesting peptides, but I think there's a lot of things that we need to touch base on in terms of how do we perform at our highest physically and mentally.
Well, you made the comment about the GLP-1s. There's a lot of people that are taking that stuff now, and I have questions about that in and of itself, But, and I I'm not trying to quote anybody or anything. I know Brandon took something similar to that. I don't know what it was that he took, but he struggled a little bit with his vision. So it'd be interesting to hear how do you combat that? And, I'm hoping the doctor can kind of get into that a little bit. If we have anybody that's hearing this and they have any questions in regard to that, do you think the doctor would be willing to answer them, Trace?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Okay.
I think some of the topics that need to be discussed is, there's like a lot of different kinds of GLPs. Why would one be better for one person and maybe not the next? There's the visual aspect of it, because it affects blood sugar and glucose. There's a whole bunch of, gastric emptying. So like, how long does it take? You might end up with, a side effect of bloat or gastric distress or something like that. But the doctor really understands them and would really be able to break it down to help people, I think, understand what's the best GLP and why they would want to pursue something over the other.
Okay, so if anybody has questions, let's kind of break down like I guess you could say the general topics of that podcast and what it would be if they want to send us some questions. So basically it's a lot to do with nutrition, and the new medications that are out now that people are taking and how it could affect your shooting, right?
Yeah. I think the other thing that's important too is like exercise. What type of exercise? Are you better off with cardiovascular exercise? Are you better off with weight training? What is going to equate to the best performance on the clays course? So that's going to be something that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
What are good snacks on the course? And also based off of, is your diet already modified from GLPs, or are you already on a modified diet? And, what should be available to you while you're out on the course,
Yeah, for sure. No, that's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Well, cool. If anybody has questions about that stuff, please send it to us. And I'll get them over to Tracy, and then hopefully we can schedule the good doctor sometime soon. I'm looking forward to that episode. We've been talking about that for a while, and there's a lot of good questions that you and I both have for him.
Absolutely. Awesome,
Trace. Well, listen, man, thanks for doing this. Sorry you couldn't make the interview with Ben and Carl. I know you wanted to be a part of it, but maybe we'll get you on the next one for sure.
I look forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody. We appreciate it, and we can't wait to see you all back here next week on the Dead Pair Podcast.
We'll see you next time on the Dead Pair Podcast.
The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kolar Arms, the mark of performance, and is fueled by Fiocchi USA. The Dead Pair theme song was written, arranged, and produced by Toby Tomplay. Special thanks to the following sponsors: Atlas Traps, Ranger Performance Eyewear, Rhino Chokes, Long Range LLC, Gun and Trophy Insurance, Taconic Distillery, Score Chaser, and Clay Range Design Works.